Strack right on key, gets the block out of bounds, and that is something this team has done well all season long, blocks.
They have been fantastic in the paint, and you're going to see some players leave out of here in the record books for Kentucky. Tiani Key is one of those players.
Salary goes right to the bigs and hits the short floater there to tie the game. Mead, Hayes, Salary, Talegny, and Gilvin, your starting five for Western Kentucky. Now they go deep. He will not afraid to go 9 deep is Coach Collins. Key out front, gives to Lawrence. She'll stop and pop from 15 and good from the free throw line. So Kentucky off to a fast start, something that they haven't done a lot, but they're already 2 for 2 from the field.
Well, and you have to love seeing your bigs get involved like that, the way Clara Strack did, then being able to see Deja Lawrence knock a shot down. She has been a really reliable scorer for Kentucky as of late.
Here's Mead, she's going to drive. Oh, look at that. All the way to the basket and lays it up and in at 5'4" is what they list her as.
And that got started with a beautiful hesitation at the top of the key.
She just looks like one of those players when you're playing out on a playground, you pick her first.
She's going to keep going. She's going to keep going and keep going.
Miss inside, but Strack is there with the rebound. Putback is no good, then taken away by Mead, and ahead to her running mate, and laying it in is Destiny Salary.
Well, and there's some of that experience that you see, both of these two in that transition there, senior to a graduate senior. They certainly understand how to play together. Good ball in transition.
Amoore, 3-ball is good. Her first 3 of the game, her second shot. And she's been asked to score a little bit more of late.
She's the kind of player you can ask anything of her and she'll deliver. So we've seen a kind of a swap, if you will, where Deja Lawrence has been a little better passing the ball, and her stats have been, you're seeing her stats in the assist category, but then you're seeing Amoore score a lot more, but it's just whatever is needed. That's the unselfish play of this team.
There's Coach Collins' 7th season with the Lady Toppers. He's taken them to the postseason twice, to the WNIT in 19 and 2023. This is Hassett. Turnaround 3 is off the mark. Strack runs it down in the corner. Right back to Key. Lawrence hesitated there from about 17. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Inside the Key, she goes baseline, spins into the paint, and gets the roll.
Well, that's a great matchup for Tiani Key, because it's really, Josie Gilvin, only 6 feet tall, really is a bit of a mismatch there for the Cats they've got to take advantage of.
Boy, look at the quicks there by Mead, but she really couldn't get her shoulders square and missed that one. Lawrence, hesitation into the lane and throws that one away. She got caught. Look at this, right back into the forecourt. Shot by Salary's off the mark, but Mead catches up to it. Talegny out front. Hayes back to Talegny. Just spinning it around the outside, 5 on the shot clock. Knocked away by Hassett, 2 on the shot clock. Salary's gonna have to fire up an off-balance shot. It's no good. Amoore brings it down. Amoore, boy, that was beautiful the way she...
Heads up. It's a player that's been around a little bit and knows what she's doing, as she was getting that going.
Been around with that guy a little bit.
Absolutely. They have a great relationship, she and Kenny Brooks. There you see it, 10-1. Really best start for a head coach since Terry Hall back in the 80s, the early 80s. It's pretty incredible what he's been able to do.
Are you making fun of that? That was my first year here at the
What? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but Terry Hall had PJ and Valerie. She had a pretty good team back then.
What a team. My goodness.
Leah Wise. Yeah, that was a pretty good team. Lisa Collins. We go on and on with that team. Hassett outside to Amoore. 15 on the shot clock. Kentucky nursing a 3-point lead. Amoore almost got off balance, but she gets it off. Cassidy Rose shots no good.
Oh, nice.
Strack battles inside. Knocked away, though. And taken away.
And the only reason why Strack brought that ball down to try to dribble was she was off balance as she was able to get a hand on that ball. So you have to give her credit for crashing the offensive glass. It's just unfortunate. Otherwise, that ball stays above her head and goes back for a putback.
Boy, Meade a lot like Amoore, but boy, she just can't get that one to fall again. Missed 2 of those. Row corner 3 ball on the way, and that's no good. Hassett with the rebound, and the left hand putback is good. So Kentucky a quick run here, and that puts them up by 5 at the 5-minute mark here of the first quarter.
She did.
And back at historic Memorial Coliseum, let's take a look at the Lady Toppers. Nice season so far. Good start.
Not bad at all. This is exactly where you want to live if you're getting ready for Conference USA play here and make a run. But here's what I love are those statistics about turnovers forced and the points off turnovers. That ranks in the top 25 in the country.
And the most all-time wins in Kentucky programs, it's not Louisville, it's not Kentucky, it's not Bellarmine. It is Western Kentucky. Look at that.
Listen, and I'll tell you what, back in the heyday, when we were talking about the 80s and our age and aging ourselves a little bit here, but I'll tell you this, when I was coming up, Western was where you wanted to go. Western,
Haskins play there.
That was
Clement.
Yep. Western was where you wanted to go. They set the standard of excellence in the state of Kentucky for basketball for a long time. So a lot of history here that a lot of us who've been around and grew up here in Kentucky certainly know about when it comes to women's basketball at Western.
And boy, look, just like Georgia Amoore does with Kentucky, look at Meade as she talks to her teammates. And again, she's the exact same player, just another coach on the floor.
That's all you can ask for if you're a head coach of a team, is somebody that wants to take charge, somebody who's willing to speak up. That's exactly what we saw out of the shoot-around from her today, is she wants to help her teammates, she wants to talk it up with her teammates, and really try to provide some instruction. That's what a competitor does.
Drive, straight line drive to the basket by Hayes is no good, no foul, and we'll go back the other way. Amoore pressing the point, and Hassett's got a fire from 3. That's a little short. May have been ticked on that one. Here's Salary. Boy, she is quick with the basketball, isn't she?
Gets downhill in a hurry for sure.
Kentucky playing that 3-guard offense. Salary was trying to post up Amoore.
She's not having it.
Nope. 7 on the shot clock. Meade's got to do something. Oh, look at that nice kickback. Long 3-pointer is no good by So. And here we go back the other way. Boy, Western just can't buy a shot right now.
Well, they're a good 3-point shooting team, so that's a shot that Coach Collins doesn't mind them taking. That's a tough spot to give a player like Clara Silva the ball, where she has to put it on the floor on the run.
UK on a 7-0 run right now. Trying to get some size in there with So. Hayes had a thought from 3, but doesn't take it. And this is Pratchard driving to the basket. Foul was on Hassett. Now Strack comes in for Hassett. So now Kentucky goes really big with their 2 bigs on the court with Silva and Strack, the 2 Claras.
Well, and I love this lineup for Kentucky from a post perspective. I think this is great to really try to see how you can utilize 6'5" and 6'7". From a defensive perspective, it really clogs up the paint, makes things really interesting for an opposing offense. But I love the ability that both of these players have to step out and shoot and face up.
Yeah, but I like the question you asked Coach this morning about Strack's passing ability, because she will come out to the free throw line and you almost have a high-low post there.
She sees the court. She has great vision. That's something that he said he really appreciates about her, and that just continues to get better. But as a post player, you also have to have great touch. You've got to know. You got to have good timing. She's showing you all of those things when she passes the ball so well. But I think we're seeing that out of a lot of Kentucky's post players. You see it with Silva. You see it with Tiani Key. They all really have a nice touch.
Boy, it is really a cat and mouse game between Amoore and Meade. It was interesting. Amoore pointed like she was getting a screen, and then Meade looked to her right to see the screener. There was no one there, and then she went around her.
Just smart play.
Yep.
You know, these are players that have been around or experienced. They certainly understand the game.
Cassidy's got to take that shot. She's shied away because she's missed 2. Strack misses that elbow jumper. Kentucky's gone cold. Meade's going to drive it in and kick to the shooter, and that's going to be off the mark again by Hayes. Lawrence runs it down, saves it to Silva. And they're going to call another foul on Salary, reaching in. Well, that's a big foul there. That's 2 on Salary.
It is, and it's a tough call. I mean, you know, I understand the call, but to some degree, you know, you think about how physical this game can be, and some of those seem like really nitpicky.
Yep.
It's a tough second foul to pick up and take yourself out of the game.
So now they bring Gilvin in, Josie Gilvin, the 6-foot junior out of Louisville, Kentucky. And she is going to have to guard Key, and that is a mismatch. He's got good size.
Well, we rarely get a chance to see all 3 post players in the game together.
Oh, nice block there.
Really nice.
Yeah, by Pratcher. Meade's going to go all the way up and under, and 1 as Amoore got her on the shoulder. Tie the game here. The little run now by Western.
Well, Meade has taken the ball several times, really sort of forcing or looking for a foul. We've seen her fall a little bit, kind of anticipating or wanting a foul, not getting it. But I like her being aggressive and really trying to get after it here.
Really good free throw shooter. Only missed 4 this season. Amoore trying to stay out of the trap, and she gets it ahead to Key. That's something Western will do. They kind of that, 3-quarter trap, but that time they didn't do it. Lawrence out front. Here's Strack. Huge mismatch here. Dumps it down to Silva. She goes up and under and puts it in.
Yeah, that's there. When you've got 3 bigs in the game the way Kentucky does, you have to, and they all 3 can step out and shoot, and all 3 can shoot face up. That short little 15-foot jump shot, that's available for all of them. So we don't see this lineup much with all 3 of them in the game. I like it a lot.
Well, she got her on her hip and just put her in the washer, didn't she?
Yeah,
just
I like it.
Spun right to the basket. Amoore trying to play a little 2-person game, and there it is. Gets it back to Silva.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
Nice pass to Strack inside. You just talked about their passing.
Well, and what you saw was that's a baseline shot that Silva can hit, but it's that one extra pass. And Strack had her defender on her backside. You have to be able to see that as a post player and not be so focused in tunnel vision on scoring.
Pratcher averages 4 points a game. She's got that already. She had a couple of free throws, and that nice jumper there over the outstretched hand of Key. Amoore will fire from 3, and that's a little hard. Key comes down with the rebound, saves it to Strack, back to Amoore. Amoore drives right to the basket and puts it up and in. 30 seconds to go here. About a 3 or 4 second differential in the shot clock. So out front. And she'll fire a long jumper off the backboard's no good, and plenty of time, 15 seconds for Kentucky.
Had her teammate on the backdoor cut and completely missed her. Deja Lawrence was trailing behind and she completely missed her.
Amoore steps left, 3, no good. Rebound, Key. She's gonna go up with it, and it won't go.
They say no basket.
Yep, gotta make that shot. Well, Western came back from a 5-point deficit, tied the game, and Kentucky's short spurt there at the end. The final after 1 quarter, 17-13. So Kentucky with the 4-point lead. Little disjointed, but we got 3 quarters to play at Memorial Coliseum. 17-13 is your score from historic Memorial Coliseum. But and we just had Christmas and everybody was in a great mood. But what about if you're from Australia? What do you do?
Yeah, right. What do you do? When you're an international player here, you've got to figure some things out. And Georgia Amoore was lucky enough to have her sister come in and spend some time with her, and they went and ate with the Brooks family for Christmas and were able to spend Christmas with them.
Looks just like her.
They do look
smaller version.
The bookends. You see the bookends there are the Amoore sisters. It's not hard to pick them out. But yeah, this is a situation where when you've got a lot of international players, where are you going to go and what are you going to do? Amelia Hassett is from Australia as well. She went home with Clara Strack, who lives in Buffalo, New York, and they were able to go to a Bills game. I mean, how cool is that, right? But I mean, a lot of international players have to make adjustments and make some sacrifices. And here you take a look at what we're talking about now. I did hear Tana Becker say that she was able to go home. She's in a lot of snow and it was very cold, but she was able to go home. But yeah, you've got others that have to make arrangements and go other places. And Clara Silva.
Well, her parents are here now.
They're here, which is great. I mean, they were able to come here to the United States and spend Christmas with her. They're still here, so they're at the game tonight. This afternoon and able to catch some of that and watch her play. But everybody makes sacrifices when you play at this level and when you're a student athlete over the holidays. It's hard. There is nothing harder than sometimes being away from your family, being away from home. But you make the sacrifice in order to be able to play at a high level and do what you love. So, you know, it's great that these coaches, all coaches, do whatever they can to try to make these young ladies feel at home. It's not easy.
No, it's not, and that off the mark there from Telegdi, and we'll talk about her in just a few minutes as she's from Budapest. So Amoore walks this one up into the forecourt, and again, Christy, we're talking about getting the layoff, and you said when you play, you hate it.
No, I hate it.
8 days between games.
Yeah, as a former player, you know, I think about any time off like that is tough, and really it's just because it's a grind. You get back to practice, even though you don't have classes and, you know, things like that. It's all ball all the time. And, you know, part of that is good, but you, as a player, you just want to be able to play. You really get tired of practice. You get tired of the drills. You get tired of doing those things. And oftentimes, or for me anyway, that time off with no game just kind of drags on a little bit.
How would you like to have been at the Buffalo Bills game and see 2 6'5" women walking? You're like, who do they play for?
I'm sure got asked that question a million times. You guys play basketball or volleyball? Which is it?
Well, you got stuck in no man's land. Was Hayes down there as Lexi blew into the game for Kentucky. Lexi on the wing. Here's Amoore and Meade, and oh, nice play by Meade to draw the foul. And that's going to be 2 on Amoore.
Heads up play again. We're talking about experienced players that know how to draw fouls. That's 2 on Amoore. So really smart play by Alexis Meade to get a second on Amoore. So now she's got to sit.
And she just walked straight to Coach Brooks.
Knew it.
She knew it. But you know, he's also a coach that a lot of times she may only sit for a minute or two, and he'll put her back in. He's not.
Without hesitation, we'll put her back in the ballgame. You have to have some trust. You have to have a lot of trust with your players that they understand and how to not be a liability when you're out on the court and you're in foul trouble.
Again, great free throw shooter. As they whittle that lead back to, again, within 2. Kentucky can't stretch it out. Key, she'll go up and under, kicks it out. Blue will fire another 3 ball. That's going to be way hard. How about that rebound from Key as she puts it back up and in? Whoa!
That'll make you crazy if you're Greg Collins.
Yeah, they're going to call that on the floor.
Nice shot by Lexi Blue. That's a shot that she is capable of.
Just right over Joseph.
Tiani Key just with the size advantage, those big long arms at 6'4". Not much you can do about that.
3 ball in and out by Meade. Hassett right there for the rebound. Kicks it ahead to Strack. Here's Key. Hassett, that's her shot right there. That's her spot she likes. Drove it right into Telegdi, and couldn't get it to go.
Well, she went up with that right hand. I'd like to see her go up with that left hand and keep the ball away and see if you can't maybe get that ball to go.
Who are they going to call that on? On Strack? Interesting call there. That's away from the, actually away from the basket. It wasn't on the shot. So first foul on her. Acacia Hayes outside. Now back to me. And they're going to call a trip there on Cassidy Rowe. I'll tell you what, I haven't heard a whistle from the other two. It's all been.
Well, I don't know, fellas. I might
official.
need to see a replay on that one to know that.
Talisa Green is
Goodness.
calling a tight one so far. Acacia Hayes again. She'll drive up and under. That won't go. And Strack with the rebound. Rowe assumes the point guard role here as Georgia Amoore sits on the bench. Key to the free throw line, spins back in the paint.
Great
and there's
move.
that beautiful left-handed step back. Her and Strack are really good at that shot. And finally a three-ball falls for Josie Gilvin. They were 0 of 6 before that one. Kentucky 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. Tight defense, kicks it right back to Tiana Key. Hassett to Strack, short shot, no good, and rebound comes off to Alexis Mead, 5'4" senior. Yep, finally. Looked like that ball kind of got caught up on her hip, maybe. Coming into the game now is Mackenzie Chatfield.
Well, it's a perfect opportunity to give Mead a break.
Yep.
Give her a blow here before you hit your media timeout, especially with Amoore on the bench.
Chatfield, another international player. She's from New Zealand. That's going to be off by Lawrence. Here comes Hayes. She held it on her hip too, right? Kentucky just playing tight defense, 10 on the shot clock. Talegdi, long three off the back iron, and it's Lawrence who pulls it down. Nice block out there by Tiana Key. Lawrence goes behind her back and loses it. Got to know where you are. You're in a stack of people like that. You got to be careful with the basketball.
Well, and that behind the back it really kind of happened out of necessity. I think her being off balance. I'm not sure that's what she intended to do.
Chatfield and Rowe. Kentucky sticks with that man-to-man, and she'll take it all the way up and under, does Acacia Hayes.
Great drive.
She was Western's leading scorer the last 2 seasons. She's averaging a shade under 12 points a game. She's got 2 on the night. 1 of 5 from the field now. Rowe, another 3 on the way. That's off the mark. Rebound comes off to Gilvin. Lawrence and Hayes out front. Now Talegdi trying to pull Clara Strack away from the basket. And here's why, because they will drive into the lane. No good. Cassidy Rowe was there, and Hayes had to kind of pull up a little bit on that drive and missed.
Well, no one does that better than Cassidy Rowe on this team in terms of finding the right spot, being there, taking that charge. She's done that for 2 years now.
Hassett passes up the 3, and she goes inside, about a 10-foot little floater for her second basket of the game. She's got 4.
2.5 minutes for Kentucky without a bucket. They desperately needed that, and I love Amelia Hassett really trying to manufacture something.
And again, another drive to the basket, and that won't fall. Hassett with another rebound. That's 6 rebounds already for Hassett in the game. Key steps into the jumper, and it's good from just beyond the free throw line. And Kentucky, a couple of quick baskets, and they pull out to a 5-point lead. So 3:42 to go in the half, and Kentucky now leads it 25-20. Watch this. Hayes with a nice drive to the bucket with the left hand. We already showed you Kentucky with their international flavor. How about Western Kentucky? The Lady Toppers have 5 as well. Acosta from the Dominican Republic. Chatfield, we've seen her today, from New Zealand. Kadur from Egypt. So from Senegal. And Talegni from Hungary, from Budapest.
You know, we talked with Kenny Brooks about the international players for Kentucky. I love this, that we're seeing this on both sides of the ball because they bring so much to the game. They bring a different kind of game. They bring a little different style of play, but they are so grateful to be over here in the United States to play, and they're so grateful for everything that these programs provide for them. So
how about the story? Tell them about the shoes with Georgia Amoore.
Yeah, so Kenny Brooks tells us that they slide 3 pairs of shoes over to Georgia Amoore, and she looks through them and picks one, and then slides the other 2 back and says that's the one she'd like to have. And they said, no, Georgia, they're all yours. They're all 3 your shoes.
She was like, what? I get all 3
Why
of
would I
these?
get all 3 of them? I got 1 pair of shoes. But I think that's very telling and a testament to these young women who, you know, they don't want to take too much, and they are so grateful for what they do have. But I think that also shows you, you know, how hard these programs work to really take care of their players and to really make sure that they are generous, understanding that it's hard to be a student athlete these days, but you know, rewarding them in those ways are certainly, we've seen the women's game come a long way in that regard.
Well, how about Greg Collins talking about, you're talking about, you know, how we as a society is kind of a gimme, but he takes his team over to Hawaii. They go to a school right over there. They give out gifts. They shake hands.
Oh, yeah, they've done some great community service. We'll show you a little bit about that as well, too, but just really, really good things that a lot of these teams will do, but Western's no exception. They really are working hard at that community service, and yeah, just, you know, giving back. They have to understand that both coaches have talked about the impact that they can have as players and as people. This isn't just about being an athlete. It's also about having an impact on people. So good stuff.
Key spins, goes with the left hand, but another beautiful block inside, and they're going to call a foul. And I think they're going to leg.
It's a nice aggressive drive by Tiani Key, and we've seen Clara Strack is crashing the boards. We've seen her on the offensive glass several times now. Six offensive rebounds for Clara Strack.
Boy, Key missed them both.
Ugh.
Got to hit your free throws. Key, a 78% free throw shooter, going up to the line and missing both. And they're going to call a walk that time, and that was just good defense, getting to the spot before the person with the ball can get there, and Pratchett got stuck and took an extra step. Look, you watch the SEC, they're not going to call that a foul. That's going to be a walk every time.
That's right, and you have to, this is where you will find out who's tough. Patience. That's what you saw right there from Tiani Key. Didn't get rattled. Made the defense work.
Boy, interesting, and now Meade is going to come back into the game with about 2 minutes to go here with those 2 fouls. Amoore still on the bench. Sanaya Tyler. I meant Salary. Meade is coming back in. Salary still on the bench. Salary has the 2 fouls. Meade just getting a quick blow, and she'll come in for those final 2:16 of the half. Kentucky on a little bit of a run here. They've opened their lead to 5. She's so tiny, the Kentucky's almost in her waistband. Another drive to the basket by Hayes, and she can't get it to fall again. That's her third layup. Sanaya Tyler, takes the contact and puts it in with the left hand. Another one. Shot missed, but Lawrence tips it away to herself. Kentucky a chance to go to double-digit lead here. Tyler knocks down the three. A big shot for the Wildcats.
Big shot for the Wildcats and a big break here as So doesn't get quite out of bounds as she takes the ball out underneath, but great drive there by Sanaya Tyler, just coming in and giving Kentucky some big minutes.
And again, no hesitation there as she grabs and shoots and scores. Strack under the basket, step back is good again.
And that's why she's so hard to defend. You body her up, she takes the contact, but is able to knock that shot down. And I tell you what, Jeff, we've done enough games now and seen enough shoot-arounds to know that young lady works on that shot. She's out here an hour before shoot-around, putting in some time to work on that shot. So tough to defend.
Just like that, Kentucky up 14, three ball on the way, and it's good. Telagny hits. Big shot there, that is.
Boy, they needed it.
Yeah, Kentucky was on a big time run. Lawrence out front, 20 on the shot clock, 22 and a half on the game clock, so 2.5 second difference. Lawrence to the elbow. Here's Hassett. Strack thought about it from three. She'll take it right into the basket and puts it up and in.
When you're an outside scoring threat, that's what that does for you. It really opens the lane.
And you don't want to foul her, that's for sure, especially with a second and a half left.
Well, that's twice we've seen Alexis Mead just be really smart and force the foul. But I love this. As a shooter, Clara Strack will take that shot and take that three-pointer. She can hit that shot, and as a shooter, this is exactly what you do. You extend the defense. You force the defense to make some decisions. If So doesn't come guard her, then she can take that shot. She has the green light to shoot that three. So really a beautiful take. Great read of the defense.
Okay, he says if they miss, you run a fire down the court, or they're going to try to just go deep, a quick throw to Silva under the basket. One of the better free throw shooters in all of college basketball right there. Yeah, they don't have time for that. You had to throw it from the inbounds all the way down. Thought maybe they called timeout to get it.
Only in the second half.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Kentucky still has a double-digit lead as they really storm back there in the second. They lead it by 11 at the half. Welcome back to historic Memorial Coliseum as we are getting set for the second half here. Kentucky leads at 38-27, a late spurt, and it was this young lady who's having a nice game, Tiana Key.
Oh, Tiana Key really looking good from the field, 5 for 7 for 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but she's been able to score a couple of different ways and really showing you what's in her offensive arsenal. She's been able to score a lot of different ways, that beautiful little short jump shot there. And then Clara Strack got going early, but this young lady has absolutely crashed the offensive glass and been big for Kentucky there. But she scored in several different ways as well, too. That's what I love about Kentucky's post game is that they're so versatile and they can score in a lot of different ways.
Christy, the number there you see there's the number that is mind-boggling here. 10 rebounds. That's all Western had in the entire first half.
Well, and that's definitely something that we talked to Greg Collins about at shoot-around, where he said, it's going to be big for us because obviously there's a size advantage, but a lot of rebounding is want to. You've got to get after it, especially on the offensive glass. You've got to be able to get after it, and he wanted to limit Kentucky's second chance points, and they did not do that in the first half.
Beautiful. Right to Strack, and she goes right to the basket, puts it up and in. So Strack now with 12 points and 8 rebounds on the game.
It's exactly how Kentucky started the game, going to Clara Strack early, getting her down there on the block where she can take advantage of her size.
Salary tries to get inside on Key, but no going there, and kick it back out. Gilvan's three is no good. Off the mark, Key comes down with it. Key, that bounce pass got knocked away. She gives it the bounce pass. They probably get a layup there.
Well, there you see the battle of the boards and Kentucky just dominating there, more than doubling up Western. That's huge. Those offensive rebounds were big for Kentucky because it led to 8 second chance points, and exactly what Coach Collins said they cannot allow to happen. Guarantee you that was discussed ad nauseum in the locker room at halftime at perhaps a loud decibel level to make a point.
We have seen Western get drives to the basket 12 times. They had 12 attempts at layups. They only hit 4. And we've seen a lot of them going on the floor like that one there, expecting to get a foul. So they're now 4 of 13 on layups.
Well, they're undersized, and so I think that's a scenario where they, you know, it's if you can create this illusion that even if the basket doesn't go, but you fall down and you're able to get that call there, then that's what you want. You're either looking at 2 shots or an and one.
Nice play there, Lawrence. It was tipped by Amoore. Lawrence is going to go right to the basket, and she is fouled as she got into the body of Achacia Hayes. So that's just the first foul on Acacia.
Well, this turnover by Destiny Salary really just shows you that she's cold. You know, it was not a great pass. It didn't have any zip on it. And a scenario where, you know, she sat a lot in that first half, picking up 2 fouls. So she's got to get back into the flow of things.
So Lawrence has been a scorer for Kentucky, especially these last 4 or 5 games. And she's had a tough game here. But you go to the free throw line, you get 2 the easy way there, and now she's got 4 points.
Sometimes that's all it takes is to get a layup going or to get a bucket, to get that steal, something that really can start to ignite you a little bit, and then the shots start falling. But
also helping out with 5 rebounds from that off-guard spot. Gilvan, another 3 on the way. That's off the mark, and Strack with another rebound. 14 and 9 now for Strack, or 12 and 9, I should say, for Strack. 1 rebound away from a double-double. Oh, boy, it's 2 bad passes by Amoore. That one just a throwaway. Misses everything that time was Telegdi. And here's Salary. That was all the way in. Boy, that's when you know it's not a good day.
Great help by Tiani Key to slide over, go hands straight up. No reason to leave her feet with her size and her length. And alter the shot.
That spot. 3 ball is good.
Georgia Amoore is the type of player that when she makes a mistake, she will always come back down and figure out a way to correct it. And that's what we've seen her do all season long. A turnover or something that she knows was an ill-advised pass or something along those lines, comes back down, knocks down a big shot.
Telegdi tries another 3, and she splashes that one. That time she got her feet underneath her and knocked it down. 6 points now for Telegdi. It's a big shot right there for Western. Amoore again fires that one off the mark. Telegdi with the rebound. Just her 2nd rebound of the game. Gilvan goes all the way to the basket. Amoore didn't want to pick up that 3rd foul. She tried to body her out of the way, but she was able to get the corner.
And her teammates have to have her back. They have to know that's
slide
coming,
over.
right? You have to. There has to be some awareness that on that weak side, you've got to slide over and help.
Right back they go to Strack, and she puts it in. 14 points now to lead all scorers. Well, I'll tell you what, that play we just saw has got to be
well, it's a great take by Josie Gilvan, no question about it there, for some 2 big buckets for Western that they had to have. But what we saw in the first half was, we talked about it, they're a little smaller here.
That's not a foul.
The Lady Topper's a little smaller here, but what we're seeing them do is really try to take advantage of that. As they drive, they are trying to force the official to make a call. So a lot of times this is where, you know, we see the warnings about flopping and that sort of thing. We haven't seen any of those in this game yet. But that's a scenario where as they drive and they know they're undersized, they're going to throw the ball up and try to get something out of it. and force the official to make a call. So oftentimes when you see a player fall like that, it seems really dramatic.
Yep.
And will force the official to blow the whistle and say, hey, I've got to make some sort of call. There had to be something there when really there was nothing.
And Strack says to one of the officials, I'm straight up and down. What else do I do? And she said, you fouled her.
Yeah, that's a tough call if you're Clara Strack, because, you know, they're going to say, well, you fouled her with the body. But again, this is what we're seeing is Western Kentucky really trying to take advantage. You've got two guards in Meade and Hayes who are significantly undersized versus Kentucky's guards. So as they drive and they toss one up to see if they can get it to go, and they're not bad shots. That's what we saw in the first half. These drives that they've made and the shots they're taking are pretty good shots.
Here comes that trap. Amoore just slowly brings it up court. Lawrence open for three, and it's good. You knew that. You were shaking your head yes as soon as she released it.
That was in. But that's what I love about when Kentucky is clicking in that way, that offense, they know exactly when they want to shoot. Any 5 players on the court at any given time have the green light to take that shot. So I love that, seeing that offensive efficiency and that confidence.
Again, another shot that was contested and missed by Western. Western 11 of 35. That's 31% from the field. Western averages 45%. 3 no good by Amoore. Rebound comes off to Meade. She's running 3-on-2. They got the numbers. Oh,
nice.
What a
really
move.
Nice. Really nice.
Pretty move by Meade. Wow. 360.
And just sort of made it look as if she was going to dump it off to a player at the three-point line. That's when you're talking about reading the defense. Some beautiful experience. Great move. Love that.
Open 3 for Tyler. She misses, and rebound comes off again to Hayes. Here's Pratcher. They call a foul there on Key. So Tana Key with the foul, and we're going to take a timeout here.
Watch Alexis Meade, though. She does this little turnaround, makes it look like she's going to dump it off to her teammate, catches Sanaya Tyler on her hip, and makes her pay.
52-38, Kentucky leads it over Western Kentucky as the final game before the conference gets underway next week.
We talked earlier about giving back and Western Kentucky really being involved in community service, and this is something Greg Collins talked about, how
really cool.
They love it. The team actually really loves it. They did some shopping for some, you see there, shopping for children and at Walmart with Santa Claus, but then when they went to Maui for the Maui Classic, they were able to go to a school there, a local school, and play basketball and do some things with them. It's a great shot there of the team and all the school, but he said that's something that they really have loved doing and really embrace. They absolutely love it, and he is sure to let them know they have to understand the impact that they can have on folks. He said, listen, that he's got a son that wears 33 because of Josie Gilden. He said, you know, you have to understand what impact you can have on them, that, you know, it's one interaction, it's one conversation, it's one picture, and it really means something to kids. So, yeah, good stuff to see. You know, that's what the holidays are all about.
All about giving. Yeah, they're going to call a foul away from the basket. A block against Hassett. Hassett tried to go through and was hammered, so that's a turnover. Hassett brings it up against Salary. Gives it off to Tyler. The offense starts. 4:15 to play here in the third. Clara Silva in the game. Silva gives it off to Amoore in a short baseline jump. She really is a really good passer. And again, you talked about it this morning, her height and Strack's height. They just see over the game.
You see the floor, you have to have great vision, and then you got to have some touch. And you can't hesitate. That's the thing I think is so important in a situation like that.
So give Silva the assist there, and Amoore the bucket, and we come down, and Lawrence fouls, and right back to the line's going to go Acacia Hayes.
Well, Hayes showing that she's not going to shy away from driving. She's done this the entire game here, and you see,
that was a
Lawrence,
foul there.
just got her right on the arm.
So 3 points the old-fashioned way, cuts the Kentucky lead to 13. Cats will make a spurt, and then the Lady Toppers come back. Amoore's got Gilvin on her, kicks it over to Tyler in the corner. The three is good! Tyler, her best game of the season. She's hit back-to-back threes, her last 2 shots.
Well, Sanaya Tyler has just been a work in progress for this Kentucky team, and really she's had a lot going on. You know, when you change, she and Cassidy Rowe, the only 2 players that returned from last season. So you bring in an entirely new coaching staff, an entirely new team. There's a lot going on for a young lady like Sanaya Tyler and for Cassidy Rowe as well. So a lot being asked of her in a lot of ways, but then also understanding that you got to compete and you have to do it differently. So I think she spent some time today after the shoot around with Coach Kenny Brooks, where they're really working to try to get her to a good place to understand what's needed from her and how she's going to have to play in practice. It's at a different level than what she's used to. So, and that's not lost on Kenny Brooks. He's talked about that. He said, listen, it's tough for a young lady like that to really come in and understand that my expectations are different. And she's really, I think you start to see her be a little more comfortable. She's settling in a little bit, getting more minutes. Needed her in this situation.
Another 3 for Tyler. That's 3 for her in the game. 11 points for Tyler.
She knew we were talking about her. Just going to keep going.
Meade had a thought from 3, and then she'll back it out. Salary fires a 3. That's over the basket. Silva just goes up and snatches that. Goodness gracious. And Amoore goes coast to coast and lays it up and in, and the Wildcats have their largest lead of the game. 19 points with 2 to go in the third. Kentucky leads at 62-43. Today, Sanaya Tyler has been a difference maker. Would be something short, because she is just, on the season, she scored 5 points. She's got 11 tonight.
Well, consider what 2023-24 was for her versus what this season is. She was averaging nearly 27 minutes a game and 10 points per game. You now have a whole new roster. You have a whole new coaching staff. Everything is different. Everything gets a little more competitive in a lot of ways. And she's really had to learn how to settle into the Kenny Brooks era and what that was going to look like and what that was going to be. So she was coming into this game at 5 games she didn't even step on the court for, but now, and averaging 5 minutes, she's played 8 minutes in this game. That's what I love about is the efficiency that we've seen out of her in only 8 minutes playing. She's got 11 points, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. And listen, she is an excellent shooter. We saw it last season. We've seen her be able to knock down shots. What you really have to have here is someone who understands the system and understands what it means to be in the Kenny Brooks system and how he wants you to play on both ends of the floor. Right. So they're going to be really reliant on her and need her when you get into SEC play and you have players that need a break or you get into foul trouble, the way we saw Georgia Amoore earlier. A player like Sanaya Tyler can come in and give these kind of minutes. This is all Kenny Brooks can ask for out of her.
And there you see her talking with Georgia Amoore. Georgia, they were in a little huddle right outside the bench, and her and Sanaya just conversing with each other, a big smile on Sanaya's face.
And you've got to give Sanaya Tyler some credit here, because this is when the transfer portal window opens and you're not playing much, and this is a scenario where you could go into the transfer portal and leave because things aren't going well or you're not playing the way as many minutes as you thought you should. She's not done that. She's stuck it out, and she's really giving it a good effort and really trying to understand what it means to play for Kenny Brooks, and here we're seeing that pay off for her.
So back in the game is Chatfield for Western. They go a little smaller now. Boy, Hassett hounding defense. Bad pass, and she makes the steal. Lawrence tipped it away, and Hassett comes up with it. Lawrence, she'll fire from 3. Off the board. Pratchett with the rebound. Here comes Meade again. Right to the basket. Tyler got her up around the shoulder as she was trying to make the turn, and she carried it right to the basket.
For the cast, number 7, Tiani Key returns.
Camera doesn't lie, Christy.
Well, it's a great take by Meade. I mean, that's what she wants to do, is be aggressive and get to the rim. She's done a great job of that, getting herself to the line. 6 for 6, perfect from the free throw line.
Johnny Key into the game for the Cats. Silva and Key, the two bigs, and Key with the rebound underneath, and it's smacked away, and they're going to say it went off of her, out of bounds to Western. So Kentucky playing with 3 guards. Tyler along with Amoore and Lawrence. Silva and Key on the inside. It's very interesting. You can see what Western's doing, trying to pull Silva or Strack away from the basket. Silva stops and pops.
Beauty.
And knocks it down. Short jumper's good.
Beautiful. Well, what I love about that, too, for Silva is that she knew exactly what she was capable of. We saw it earlier in the first half where she was given the ball on the run in the lane, and that's not a great place to give somebody that's 6'7" the ball, because now they've got to put it on the floor, and that's not always great when there's traffic and that sort of thing. So there we saw her stop and pop that short jumper, which is beautiful touch. It's a great shooter. So really just a heads-up play by Silva.
Salary hits the little turnaround there as well. But watch when they set up their offense for Western, and Telegny just comes all the way outside the three-point line to pull Kentucky center out of the middle.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's smart, right? You got to get her out of the paint, and we've seen Telegny knock down, what, 2 3-pointers so far this game, so she's dangerous.
Key little step back. The lefty's good again. Just at the buzzer. She puts it in. Boy, Key having a nice game now. She's in double figures with 12 points and 4 rebounds.
Beautiful shot there. That fadeaway goes for the lefty as the Cats are in control.
Ohio State-Oregon game came right down to the wire. 1 point. I think it's going to do it again. That should be a wonderful game.
So if that happens, does Oregon win it all?
If Oregon
Ducks
can get by Ohio State, they're going to have a, I think that's going to be their toughest game. How's that?
It's fun. That's kind of a non-committal answer.
Georgia's quarterback's hurt. I think Ohio State has beaten Penn State quite soundly. I think the winner of that Oregon-Ohio State game is my favorite to win it all.
Isn't it fun? We're still talking about it. I love it. I love that we're still talking about that in a way that matters outside of just one game. I love it.
Boy, how about that play right there by Carla Strack? Wow.
Clara Strack continues to be so impressive, even when she kind of quietly has 16 points in a game. I think a double-double for her, 16 points, 11 rebounds.
I mean, Claire takes that and just wills it to the basket.
Yeah.
And then Meade hits a huge 3 on the other end. She's got 16. Meade and Strack lead all scores with 16. Hassett been quiet.
Boom.
Not anymore. She knocks that one down. 7 points, 10 rebounds for Hassett.
Well, but this goes back to what we talked about before tip-off about Amelia Hassett. When she's not scoring a lot, she is still doing other things, and she never gets frustrated. And she just hasn't had a ton of looks at the basket, but 10 rebounds for her.
Almost had another, but taken away by Strack.
Right.
She said, I've got this.
She just goes about her business. And she has great body language. This is something I talked to Kenny Brooks about and asked about her body language and how good it is, the fact that you never know exactly where she is. She's never rattled. She's never too high or too low. And he said that's kind of language, or wear it on their sleeve, or, and I think that's something that is absolutely a feather in their cap and something that is so underrated and undervalued in a lot of ways, because your body language can affect how you play in so many ways negatively, and they don't ever allow it to.
Mackenzie Chatfield, her first shot is a 3, and it's good. Amoore, beautiful pass down low to Strack for the easy bucket. She could have pulled up and shot it, but she saw the defender.
She saw the mismatch.
Yeah,
she
was
saw,
gone.
yeah, Meade at 5'4" had no chance.
And here comes Kentucky right back as Amoore sprints it down court. She's going to drive all the way under, gives it off to Cassidy Rowe. Her 3 is no good. Boy, nice. They're going to
Great
call
box
that on
out.
Key.
Yeah, it was a really nice box out by Chatfield for sure. That's textbook. This is how you get it done. You put a body on somebody, you push them out. There you see.
Just 5'9".
See her push her out. I love that. That's textbook. And what you couldn't see was from behind. Key kind of had a hold of her there a little bit. It's textbook box out.
So Sanaya Tyler and Deja Lawrence back into the game as Kentucky continues to play that 3-guard offense. Foul on Tyler. Meade is really quick, and she had a mismatch there with Strack. She stayed in front of her.
Yeah, Strack did a decent job there of not letting her get by her.
Meade step back 3, no good. Key with the rebound. Another rebound for the Wildcats. 36 rebounds. They've out-rebounded them by 16. Amoore to Strack. She goes through the lane and puts it in and 1. Wow. Clara Strack.
Well, take a look here as you get the defenders caught up in the screen and how to defend it and the communication about getting over it or under it. And there, nobody there when you've got a beautiful pass to a streaking Clara Strack. Just heads up play by both Amoore and Strack. Nice take.
I think Amoore just kind of let her go, said, you know what, go ahead.
Well, and I like what I'm seeing out of Hayes this half versus the first half, because I think when we saw her drive and try to get something going to the rim in the first half, there was a lot of falling down, really just trying to get the call that wasn't happening.
To Strack in the paint, turnaround no good. Rebounded by Salary, and here she comes. Kentucky's back, so she pulls it out. Chatfield. Oh, beautiful.
Really nice.
Mackenzie Chatfield drew the defense to her, and then she just kicked it back to Gilvin.
And she saw that the whole way.
Yeah.
She knew that was coming, and she drew the defense, driving baseline. Chatfield saw that the whole way.
Deja Lawrence 3 is too hard. Gilvin with the rebound. Meade goes flying out of bounds into the photographers underneath.
There you see Hayes with a nice drive.
Little hook there when she went by her.
That's it. Listen.
Look at that.
That
pass.
really nice. Yeah, like I say, Chatwell saw that the whole way.
That was a great play because Gilvin just came around and followed her right through where she just was.
Here's what I love about Meade as a free throw shooter. We've seen her be really, really good. You mentioned it, one of the best in the country, perfect 7 for 7. She just takes her time. You know, she got knocked into the baseline there, fell down, a little slow to get up, but takes her time, big deep breaths, settles in, gets her mind right about it before she takes the shot.
Western is 15 of 15 from a free throw line.
I mean, you're going to win some ball games like that.
Kentucky's 3 of 5. Amoore, elbow jumper, too hard. Key kicked it out of bounds. Let's have a media timeout with Kentucky up 15, so the Wildcats lead at 76 to 61. So what does Western have coming up? Here you see Conference USA opening games coming up January 2nd.
Liberty on January the 2nd. I tell you what, in the blink of an eye, here it is. And then in another blink of an eye, we're going to be talking about conference tournaments. And March will be here before you know it. It's hard to believe we're already talking about play here. But for Kentucky, Kenny Brooks' first run at the SEC is going to start January 2nd. We'll ring in the new year with Mississippi State and then see how it goes from there. But, you know, making that transition from the ACC to the SEC, he's, you know, will have played some of these teams and be familiar, but this schedule is, it's brutal. It's daunting, and it's not just Kentucky. It's everybody. It doesn't matter who you are in the SEC. It's tough. You really kind of, when I kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth a little bit here, because I talk about time off and how you don't want time off, but I'm talking about an extended period of time with no games over the holidays is tough when you're an athlete. But oftentimes when that Sunday or that Thursday open date hits in that SEC schedule, you really appreciate that in a big way.
Gilvin drives to the basket and is fouled by Hassett. She'll go to the free throw line. Oh boy, the fans are going to get excited now.
Yeah.
A miss here, and everyone gets a free Chick-fil-A. So excitement mounting in the Coliseum. Opposing coaches wonder what's going on, but
yeah. Well, we let we let someone know, didn't we?
Yeah.
We let did we let Belmont know, or Queens? We let Queens know what the jig was, so they would know.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Why everybody's losing their minds in the
What's
second half
going
over
on?
free throws.
It's a free sandwich, you kidding me? Georgia Amoore takes Meade all the way around the defense and lays it in.
Comes up a little gimpy there. Ugh. Great take.
Well, that time Hayes goes right to the backboard and lays it in.
Not sure what, something as she was coming around off of the layup. I don't know if she just Amoore twisted her ankle a little bit or landed on someone's foot. She seems to be okay. She's tough, but I hate to see that.
Lawrence will fire up for three, and that's hard, but right underneath the basket is Hassett. She is fouled as she goes to put it back in. Salary can't believe it.
Let's see what happens here when Amoore takes it in, gets it to go, slips just a little bit, yeah. There's Tough, and then there's Georgia Amoore.
Yep. 8 points for Hassett. And there's 9, and she'll come out of the game, and Key will come in. 9 points, 11 rebounds for Hassett.
How about that stat? My goodness.
Magic number, isn't it?
Since 1974. Well, and I'll tell you what's interesting about that is that it's Sanaya Tyler every time who's been the one that's been an interesting call for her.
So Hassett got about a 30-second break. Yeah, Tyler was kind of hedging over the screen, and Salary just ran into her and got the call.
The first two misses we've seen for Western at the free throw line this afternoon.
Oh! Chick-fil-A for everyone. Hassett just wanted another rebound. Kicked out of bounds by Western will stay Kentucky basketball.
What's interesting is, to your point earlier, that you do, you kind of look at the bench and they kind of go, wow, okay, what was that about? Gosh.
Lawrence, step back three, no good. Kicked around, and Meade comes down with it. She's had 2 good looks and missed them both last couple trips. Gilman, Hayes is going to drive. Coach is just beside himself, Coach Brooks.
Number 13, player Strack.
He's like, can anybody just get in front of them?
Well, and here's the thing is, as you start to see players, drive, and that's going to be really what their offense is going to be centered around, is that you have to have some of that weak side help. Everybody has to be aware who's driving, who's the driver, who's got the ball, and someone step over and take a charge. Or use your length and your size, hands straight up, alter the shot.
Now get a little full court pressure. Now they back off once the ball gets inbounds. Chatfield on Key out front. Gilvan just steps in and takes it away. Key never saw her coming. 3 on the way by Hayes, and that's no good. And Lawrence with it to Amoore. And here comes the Cats.
Great anticipation for Gilvan, though, understanding that Tiani Key is not a point guard, but really running the offense and just jumping on that screen.
Give Key the bucket and the foul. She'll go to the free throw line.
Her first of the team third. Tiani at the line for 1.
Now Tyler's going to come in the game for Hassett again. A little bit of offensive, defensive maneuvering. And she finishes the 3-point play, and now she'll come out, and Cassidy Rowe in the game. So this is an interesting lineup that Coach Brooks has got in
It
there.
is indeed, yes, yes. 3 of his shortest players. Not sure, I don't know that we've ever seen this lineup. I love it. I love being able to just kind of experiment with some things right before you play conference ball when you've got a nice lead.
Oh, she was out of bounds, right? Yep.
Everybody's confused.
Well, she ran out of bounds and came back in and caught the ball.
She must have had her foot on the line as she caught it.
That's why everybody's kind of standing around going, what was the call? So Chatfield ran out of the baseline, but came back in and received the ball. Amoore got that slapped away from behind. Shot clock stays at 14. Doesn't reset on that. Oh, Tyler should have shot that.
I wanted her to shoot that one. Yep.
Amoore will.
Yep.
And bury it.
Why wouldn't you?
Another big game for Amoore as Gilvan misses and Amoore gets the rebound. Georgia straight
her
line
jersey.
Drive to the basket.
Meade says, yep, that's me. Yep.
First in the team 4.
Lexi Bell's going to come into the game for Amoore after she shoots these free throws.
What I love about that shot for Amoore as well too is, it was contested but not really, because you had Destiny Salary standing there, but she wasn't going to contest it with a hand up or a hand in her face, really kind of challenging her. Got a little lazy. Salary got a little lazy on the defensive end, and Amoore, who doesn't get lazy, is going to make her pay.
So Amoore and Strack, 21 points apiece, hit the bench. And in comes Lexi Blue and Amelia Hassett. Now Coach Collins kind of emptying his bench as well. Tia Schelling into the game.
Meade takes a seat, but I tell you what, she is fun to watch. I mean, she's somebody that, to your point, just has a motor.
Salma Kadur, this is her with the ball.
Fun to watch on both ends of the floor.
Another call on Hassett.
Number 32, Amelia Hassett, her third.
So right back to the free throw line goes Western. They have made a living there. 17 of 21. Kentucky 8 of 10. Kentucky has committed 19 fouls. They were 15 for their first 15. Three of their last 7.
I don't know the answer to this. If it happens twice and they miss 2 shots twice,
Maybe
is that
you get,
2
I
sandwiches?
don't know, maybe you get fries with it or a combo. That'd be nice.
We don't know the answer to that, do we?
And my app doesn't work, so I
Wow.
could care less.
Not that you're bitter or anything.
Not bitter. I'll only eat there on Sundays. Hassett will fire up a 3. Oh, that was all the way in and out. Chatfield slowly walks it into the forecourt. A minute to go here in the game. Chatfield step back jumper is good. Nice little shot there by her.
1 minute remaining.
Chatfield averages 8. She's got 5 here tonight.
Offensive foul on number 32, Amelia Hassett, her fourth.
So another call on Hassett as she passed the ball.
Offensive, I guess they didn't like, did she set a screen? I guess they didn't like it. I'm not sure. I missed it. I don't know what she did. I was looking
I'll
for
tell you
what she
what,
did.
Talisa Green has made 50 calls to 4 for the 2 other officials. She is a strict one. Nice block by Lexi Blue, but
very
how about
nice.
that play there? Whoa.
Basket by
Kadur coming off the bench and a little up and under shot.
6'1" freshman, got a great body. She's strong.
So the Cats are going to finish this one by 18, 88-70.
Really nice crowd here today as well, too.
Some balanced scoring today, but to me, the big shock is Sanaya Tyler off the bench with 11 points.
A ton of efficiency for that young lady, going 4 of 5 from the field, knocked down 3 3-pointers. 16 minutes of play when she's averaging 5 minutes. But you see 4 players in double figures for Kentucky. Amoore doing it again with 21 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 9 assists for Georgia Amoore. So she's able to do it in a multitude of ways when she's in this ball game. She always affects the game on both ends. Tiani Key with a great afternoon, 7 of 9 from the field, 15 points for her. And then Clara Strack really just quietly having another big, solid game, 10 of 15 from the field, 21 points. A double-double for her. She had 12 rebounds. Let's see how many of those were offensive rebounds. She was absolutely all over the glass.
On Thursday, January 2nd at 7 p.m.
But just a beautiful.
Six offensive rebounds for Clara Strack.
Thought a great game on the boards by Kentucky.
Oh yeah, the rebounding was absolutely the difference, no question, and that's something that they knew was going to be a problem for them. And you know, Kentucky really just showing they wanted to be aggressive and really try to get some things ironed out in their last game before they start conference play.
But Christy, we are now joined here at the scorer's table by Sanaya Tyler. And Sanaya, I know this has been a tough year for you, and Christy and I were talking about this. You averaged 25 minutes a game last year, but it looks like you're starting to understand Coach Brooks' style and what he's asking of you, huh?
Yeah, yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about that, because I know that's a transition. I mean, that's it. You know, look, when you go from a totally different roster, a totally different coaching staff. You were not in an easy position.
Right.
So tell us what that process has been like for you.
I'm not going to lie, the process has been hard,
Sure.
but I've been just trying to, have patience, just trying to understand his system so I could fit into the way they want me to play so we can be a really successful team.
So we saw you spend a little time with him after shoot-around today. You guys had some conversation. He seems like he's very open to that and really wants to try to help players understand. And he is, I'll tell you this, has acknowledged the difficulty for you and how hard that must be. So what is that like to be able to have those kinds of conversations?
I mean, it makes it easier for me personally because, like, I don't have to, walk on eggshells around him. He's always open, and I appreciate that. So he knows it's been hard, but he's just been, coaching me up, just trying to help me on the little stuff that I'm messing up on just to make me be a better player.
Yeah, I do think it's little things, right? I mean, it's just little things here and there, but it looked like your shot looked so good today. Were you feeling it today?
Yes, I was, thanks to Georgia for finding me, but yes, I was feeling it.
Yeah, 9 assists for Georgia Amoore. She's always going to find the open player, right?
Yes, she is.
That's it.
What is it like playing with her?
It's fun playing with her. I mean, like, sometimes I don't think she sees people around on the floor, but she does. It's just amazing how her IQ and her understanding of the game is just a true gift. So I appreciate that from her. She's really, really good at finding people.
Finishing out non-conference play, what do you think you guys have learned about your team as you get ready to turn the page to January?
I think we've learned that, when stuff gets hard, we have to just stick together. I think when games have been challenging, we just sticking together, just always holding each other accountable and helping each other when we mess up. So I think that is going to take us far in the game.
For somebody like you, I think, who has really seen this thing kind of be built from the ground up with a whole new coaching staff, what are you seeing, or how are you seeing this be different? And that's not to say that anything in the past was bad or negative, but how are you seeing this be different this year?
Honestly, just everybody just trying to buy into us. Just always, like I said, the coaches are always open so we can get extra work in to help us understand the game. And I think that shows out here on the floor.
Well, I think it's a testament to you and how hard you're working that we saw it pay off today. I love it.
Ma'am. Thank you.
How much fun is it to play in an offense that you've got 6'5", 6'7", when Silva comes in 6'5", and the way the bigs can play?
Right. It's amazing because, like, they get those second chances, and it's always a better percentage from a three-point shot when they get the rebound and pass it back out. So that really helps us get extra possessions, and they're good at getting those rebounds, and they're tall. So just throw it in there, and it's a disadvantage every time.
I love it.
Well, get some rest because the SEC starts now, right?
Yes, sir. We ready, though. We ready.
Thank you so much for joining us. Big game for her tonight. 11 big points, her season high. And again, Kentucky rolls to victory 88-70. And now, Christy, it's the SEC. Totally different ball game coming up.
Oh, it's on now. And so we'll ring in the new year on January the 2nd with Mississippi State, and can't wait. It's going to be a fun ride.
So for Christy Thomas, I'm Jeff Pecoro. Kentucky finish off Western Kentucky 88-70 as Western has beat them the last two times they played. So a little payback for the Wildcats. The SEC is up next, and we'll have it for you next week.